Welcome to Recent Vinyl Finds number 66. Mark here. I have a nice stack of tracks to show you today. Lots of titles from my local shops. Picked a few titles up at Target, and then I think there might be one or two Amazon purchases. I'm going to start out with this fantastic release. Picked this one up at my local shop. This is Bill Withers, Still Bill. Beautiful recording. When you think of great soul singers, you probably think of Otis Redding, Al Green, Curtis Mayfield. For some reason, Bill does not get the credit he deserves. Not only is he a fantastic vocalist, he's a great songwriter. He wrote the majority of tracks on this album. He produced this album along with several members of his band. It's a phenomenal release. The sonics are excellent. The way it was mixed, it starts off with two really funky tracks they're probably my favorites on the album. Lonely Town, Lonely Street, and Who Is He? Fantastic. Lots of songs in minor keys. You have Let Me In Your Life, which is a beautiful ballad. The arrangement is very sparse. Just kind of, the drummer is just using brushes on his snare drum. It's fantastic. Again, there's a lot of space in the mix. Adding strings to recordings is usually a tricky proposition. It's usually overdone, or the strings are too loud in the mix. The string arrangements are beautiful, and they set so beautifully in the mix. This is an incredible sounding album. I love it. Of course, you have Lean On Me, which coincidentally is probably my least favorite track on the album, but this is a classic. I love this. I picked up this beauty as well. This is a 1995 Classic Records release. Ella Fitzgerald, Let No Man Write My Epitaph. Beautiful. It's just Ella and a piano. I think, who is it? Paul Smith on piano. Ella's voice is framed so beautifully. No instrumentation. I can really appreciate this audiophile pressing. I mean, Ella was right there with me. You could hear all of the nuances in her voice. The songs are all classics. Starts off with Black Coffee, Angel Eyes, September Song, Who's Sorry Now, I'm Getting Sentimental Over You. Ella, to this day, is still, in my opinion, the greatest jazz vocalist, without question. It's funny, back in 1995, when some of these audiophile pressings were being released, lots of care was taken into the recording, the mastering. This one was, it's a 200 gram, which is kind of silly. That doesn't need to be that, but it was mastered by Bernie Grunman, and it's just fantastic. Highly recommend this album. I'll show you the label. It's on that classic Verve stereophonic label. Absolutely beautiful. And we're going to transition to another amazing vocalist. Again, within soul music, there's no one better in pop music. So I've been recording videos down here. My record room is a mess. I've been going through essentially my jazz albums. I've been pulling up titles that are, number one, in a condition that I'm just not comfortable with, or are titles that were included in a collection that I purchased and I have not played in years. I'm really trying to go through my collection, weed out records that, again, are not up to quality standards that I'm looking for at this time in my life, in my collection, or just titles that I don't play. So I've probably pulled out, I would say, 60 albums at this point. And I think I'm through the letter E. So I have some work to do up there. So I'll be recording videos down here. This is one of those albums that I purchased as a teenager. Never replaced the album. Sentimental for the time and the place, but I think it's time that I kind of let that go. I want top copy. I want the original pressing, and I was able to find just that in this classic by Aretha. Aretha Arrives. This is actually the third album that was released in 1967. This is her second for Atlantic. The vinyl on this album is flawless. I don't really care. Someone drew a little X on the jacket. As long as the vinyl is in pristine condition, that's essentially what I'm looking for when I'm going through and replacing albums. So you have the best of both worlds on this one. You have some, I would say, classic Americana type recordings that she was recording with Columbia, and then you have she's getting into her funkier titles that she's known for on Atlantic. So you have Baby I Love You, you have Never Let Me Go, which is a beautiful, beautiful song, Nightlife, Prove It. These are all standards, beautiful ballads. She does a nice cover of the Stones' Satisfaction. Really pleased to add this to my collection. I have a fairly clean mono copy, but that's another one I would like to replace. This one was a steal. I picked this up at my local shop as well. You know I love my white label promos. Wilson Pickett, Don't Knock My Love. Beautiful, clean. This was $4.99. Clean copy. Beautiful stereo promo. Again, still falls within the Wilson Pickett classic years. Dennis Coffey's guitar playing on this album is fantastic, super funky. You have part 1 and part 2 of Don't Knock My Love, Pledging My Love. This is a stellar recording. Happy to have picked that one up. Of course, Old Friends for Sale, Prince. Had one of my local shops order this one for me. I haven't opened this yet. I'm familiar with the music. Lots of great tracks from the vault on this one. This was an Amazon purchase. $13.98, 2 LP set, Neil Young from the Neil Young Archives, Somewhere Under the Rainbow, and he's with the Santa Monica Flyers. I was talking to JT about this album. He was kind of alluding to the sound quality not being fantastic, but it'd be interesting to hear some of these live cuts. I have several of his live recordings from the early 70s where he's pretty much alone with his guitar, so I'm looking forward to hearing him with this backing band. Received this as a Christmas gift. This has been sitting in the gift bag since December. Foo Fighters' Greatest Hits. Love the Foos. Excellent. I have all of their albums. This has the acoustic version of Everlong, which is one of my favorite tracks by the Foos. Their first two albums are essentially greatest hits albums. They were flawless. The last few titles I've not been so interested in, but man, their first 5 or 6 albums are fantastic. Picked this one up at my local shop as well. This is a beautiful Japanese pressing of the Beatles' second album on Apple. I love that green font. This is, it's pristine, everything you would expect from a Japanese pressing. Dead quiet. I actually find the bass on this pressing to be a lot more defined than it is on my original Capitol pressing. Sometimes people feel that the Japanese pressings are a little light in the bass, and that may be the case, but as in the sound of Paul's playing, and again, just the clarity and the definition of the sound, I think this really trumps the original pressing. Of course, I love my old 50s numbers, and they cover Roll Over Beethoven, Boys. Always hated A Taste of Honey, anybody's version of that song, so I'm not so keen on that track, but there's a couple Lennon-McCartney penned numbers on this one as well. This is beautiful, and it has the insert as well. Very, very nice. Couple bargains from Target. Really excited to pick this one up. $13. I'm a huge Journey fan. I've always been a fan of the group. I love their early work before Steve joined, all the way through. Steve is one of my favorite vocalists. This, for the price, it's fantastic. This is remastered from the remastered for vinyl from the original master tapes, and it included a 7-inch single, which really got my attention. This is more of an EP. It has 2 songs on each side. Only the Young. You have Steve Perry and Bryce Miller remix, Separate Ways. Another mix of Only the Young and Ask the Lonely. Very, very nice. I opened this right away, played the album. Sounds fantastic. Really happy. I mean, so many classic tracks on this one. Faithfully, still a sucker for a Journey ballad. Separate Ways, Send Her My Love. Love this album. Now, we're going to have a little disco. Pick this one up. This was on clearance for $8 and change. 2 LP set. Some great disco tracks. The first 2, Le Freak and We Are Family. Nile Rodgers, Bernard Edwards. Their production, top notch. Nile Rodgers' guitar playing, so clean. His playing was always so clean, and he's so it's so intricate. He's just a fantastic funk guitar player, great producer. What do you have? That's the Way, Casey and the Sunshine Band. This is just it's fun music. You just put this on and dance and have a good time. Disco Inferno, I Will Survive, all classics. Lady Marmalade, Last Dance. This was definitely a blind buy. I know nothing of this band. Twice, Ready to Be. This was $7 and change. I'll check this out online. If I like the music, I'll keep it. If not, it'll go into a box for the next time I participate in a record show or have some sort of garage sale. So can't speak to this album at all. And I think that's about it. So I'll stop here. I hope you enjoyed the video. Talk to you soon.